coming from a village in West Bengal, Purulia, to traveling all the way to Venice, where you won this Best Director award. If you have to sum up your journey in few words, what all happened, during that moment, what would that be?
Um, uh, I mean, yeah, it was very, the moment was very, very big for me, the moment it happened. And I didn't expect this. Okay. Uh, I was very nervous. I was very, very much like the anxiety was there inside me. And I sort of realized this. It is not only bringing the recognition the moment after I receive it, it is bringing a lot of responsibility to make cinemas, even when I'm uncomfortable. Doesn't matter anymore. So I'm sort of trying to sulking inside it. Like I'm sort of trying to, it's the feeling is very heavier, I would say, rather than it's not lighter for me. So sort of trying to process it.
Life, like if I can ask you, before you won this prestigious award, and is this the first time that you're attending a film festival?
Oh yes, it is a very first time I was attending a very big festival. In fact, my film, the moment I sent the film, nobody knew in the team, neither the producers nor the crew member. So it was a bit surprise for them also, because the film was not completed back then. So it was a kind of work in progress we sent, and we were, fortunate enough that the jury, the selection committee decided to go with a film which is not even completed. Uh, uh, and then, I mean, it was sort of uh, earlier the life was completely slow, to be very honest. I was trying to complete the film. I was focusing into that. I'm like, okay, another 1 year will go to complete the film. But then the moment it got selected, everything changed around me. The atmosphere, like we were rushing to close the film ASAP to send the DCP to the festival. And this is how, I mean, it went. Yeah.
This would be when did you submit the movie?
I submit the film. I think it was May, in the month of May or June. In the month of May, I sent the film,
Okay.
mid of May, and I was
Okay.
waiting. And I was mailing them. Is it what is the result? And I was confirming that work in progress is cool or not, because
Okay.
my team members, they indirectly suggested me, if you're thinking to send it work in progress, please forget it. And I'm like, I didn't inform them, and I sent it, uh, secretly. And this is how it happened.
Okay. So how much percent of the movie was ready by then?
Almost 70% of the film was almost ready with the
Okay.
help of the producers, and 30% we didn't know that we had to hurry that much. So we all were like sort of laid back.
If you can, go back a little in time and tell us how, when, and why did you wanted to get into this world of movies? Why you wanted to direct movies, and if there are any odd jobs that you've done before getting into movies, into direction.
There are a lot of odd jobs I have done, like call centers, knowing the software and then selling it, meeting the customers, telling them about the software and their their advantages. you know those were the odd jobs. And I mean, obviously, look, we in a country like India, where culture are so much rich, you cannot ignore films. I mean, you growing up watching films. I mean, that's how you were doing life back that too in Bengal. Like I grown up watching Satyajit Ray. Ritik Ghatak is one of my inspiration. And then obviously all those commercial Bengali films back then, Prosenjit Chatterjee's film. And beside that, Hindi films also, like Kuch Kuch Hota Hai and everything. I used to watch every sort of films, and I felt like, how can I enter into this world? I mean, they are so lovable. They're laughing, they're enjoying, they're dancing. What is this world? The world actually attracted me a lot rather than the process, because process was always like I forbidden to get into or to know about, I would say, because in a village, film is not a matter of study. In fact, there are a lot of colleges in tier 2 or tier 3 cities where films are never been the matter of study. So I would say watching films would be one of the things that attracted me towards the world. And when I introduced with literature with the help of my mama, like my uncle. I came to know a lot about the writers, like James Joyce always fascinated me with his abstract writing. Beside abstract writing, his personal journey as a writer inspired me a lot. Dubliners, if you read Dubliners, you read Portrait of the Artist as a young man. Those were my novels to study and write answers in exam centers or exams copy. So basically, it was definitely literature. I got introduced, and filmmaker I never thought of. I thought I will ended up writing a script, and I ended up writing a very bizarre script. My first script was so bizarre that I during the course of time, I realized it. It is a bizarre script I wrote, the very first script. And then I sort of realized that um, when I got to know about world cinema, Jafar Panahi and other directors, you know Zia Zanke, and then Asghar Farhadi, all these Iranian filmmakers. Turtle Can Fly was one of my favorite films. So I sort of realized that these filmmakers are talking something very personal, which is political also. And I sort of looked into then I actually closely looked into the life of the people around me. And the first film, Run to the River, came like that way only. My nanny never saw a river. She was married at the age of 9, and her struggle was, she used to story tell me. She was such a liar. She used to story tell me that, listen, river is this, river is that, have you seen a river? So the all the fuss she made around river, and I used to think that she must have visited river. But the moment she got died, like the moment she died, I came to know that she never saw a river, because she was never allowed to visit a river, because she was a woman. So all these things came into my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm making a film on my dadi, nani. So this is how my first film came. It was again very personal, but I sort of fictionalize it and make it took it to a era which is British Bengal. I sort of tried to made the character a Dalit character during the time of freedom fighting was going on, what kind of sense of liberation she wanted as a Dalit child. So these all things came very later. So I would say personal experience was one of the reason that attracted me towards this. I realized I should also make something similar happen, or something similar I seen around here.
So when you heard stories from your nanny, was it just this river story that you heard, or were there different kind of stories, or were there bedtime stories that she would tell you, or what was it like?
She was a storyteller, to be very honest. She used to, so basically, I have never seen my nana before. My nana died long back. And, after they had four children, my nana died long back. So my nani and nani's stepdaughter, my masi, used to stay together. So, the idea of two women in the same age. They both were at the same age, because my nana literally did a marry someone who was 9 year old. My nani had a child marriage. So already my nana was having a daughter, 9 year old daughter. So they both bonded well, and the moment the male died, they both had their own time, and I guess they were the happiest. So I remember one incident. My nana I never saw my nana, and my nani used to, tell about him ki your nana is very reputed here, due to their caste and due to the hierarchy of the system. Your nana is so much this and that. So I asked my nani that, do you miss him? And you know what she replied? It was 11 p.m. around some night, and I asked her that, do you miss him? And he said, I saw him every night in my dream. I'm like, okay, what is the dream about? And she told me that, you know I saw your nana on a horse. Ex- exactly, it's a white horse, she said, and your nana was on it. And I was trying to hide here and there nearby river, and your nana was exactly looking like a white ghost, trying to search me, find me. And I thought, how can how can she talk like that? How can she consider her husband as a ghost? But later I realized, I when I grown up, I later realized that maybe it was the trauma that haunted her. Maybe she associated her husband with a ghost. Not a good ghost. So that sort of thing she
Mm.
used to play with my mind a lot.
So basically, in a way, you imbibe this whole idea of storytelling from her, from your nanny, if that would be right to say.
Apt to say,
Okay.
I mean.
Okay. Anuparna, you also mentioned about the first story that you had written, which you said, you were really not happy about. Was it before Run to River, or was this the same one?
Run to the river it was.
First one was Run to River. That's the first ever script or first ever story that you had
First
written,
ever,
right?
first ever short film was Run to the River. And then
Okay.
second did the Songs of Forgotten Trees. The name of the film was White Ghost earlier.
Oh, is this
There's a
because of that? Is this because of what your nanny?
the conversation stayed with me a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
So
why did you change the title then?
because the title was not apt, it's just a conversation between two of the protagonists, where one of the protagonists is saying, my mother's the moment my father abandoned my mother, still she sees the ghost of his alive husband. Isn't it funny? So it is just a dialogue that came coming in between. So I sort of like, no, this can't be this can't be the film about. I'm just so romanticizing my nanny and her words. So that's how we sort of changed the whole son, like the whole title of the film long back in 2022.
And what was the idea behind this title? I mean,
Oh, basically Songs of Forgotten Tree. There's a song inside the film which is associated with my protagonist mother, Naz Sheikh, who's a great friend of mine. And Naz Sheikh's late mother used to sing a lullaby for her. So that song is there inside the film, where whenever she hums that song, uh, that denotes her search for happiness, her search for her association with the good memories with her mother in the film. So that was again a very personal thing of my protagonist in real. So I asked her, can I use the song? And she like, okay, use it. And coming to the Forgotten Trees, inside the film there's a representation of holland trees, which is symbolized as the forgotten trees. There's a myth around the holland trees is this: when you take your loved one nearby those trees, if you see those trees with your loved one, that loved one will forget you forever. So basically that's how the title is coming. And holung trees are so amazing that there is the seeds of holung trees are so metaphorical that it's a flying seeds. It carries flying seeds, which every time fall down from the tree and again generates another tree from it, like so the metaphor coming like that. So the tree and the song comes as a motif inside the film.
Well, I would like to go back to the point where you had mentioned about Satyajit Ray, Ritik Katak, and a lot of other international filmmakers. Firstly, did Satyajit Ray or Ritik Katak or any of their work inspired you to make Run to River, maybe in terms of the treatment, or maybe your latest movie, Songs of Forgotten Tree, or and the international filmmakers, when did you discover about them? Was it a particular moment, or maybe someone recommended you that you should be watching a lot more international movies, since you're interested into movies?
Yeah, my mentors have recommended me Anirban Maiti. He's a great editor in Kolkata. Paresh Kamdar, Neeraj Sahai. These are the people I was surrounded with. And they always guided me, with the world cinema. They introduced me with the world cinema. And they told me that, if you see the kind of world cinema they are making, it is not just the film they are making. They're giving a statement. And, there used to be classes where I used to, talk to them, just a random conversation about films and everything. And I got to know these perspectives which used to come as political. Like, if you see Turtles Can Fly, the film is talking about a lot. It is not about a girl who got pregnant with a child. It is about world politics. It is more than what we saw in the film. So I guess definitely, as a new filmmaker, I was very much impressed and inspired with the idea of world cinema, with the perspective that cinema can be political without saying it is political. So those ideas, I mean, yeah, Run to the River was sort of, I was very much inspired with Satyajit Ray, Ritik Ghatok, and the other filmmakers, Jafar Panay, everyone. So yeah, you can consider that way. It was my first film. I was but yeah, the urge of telling the story of my nanny was very personal. And I sort of ended up making it political, just like any cool filmmaker. you know so that came that way.
Okay. So you watched all of this work, be it of Satyajit Ray or the international filmmakers that you mentioned. This was during your graduation, I mean, while you were doing your English honors, or was it while you were in Delhi, while you were, completing your master's degree in mass communication?
Some of was in Delhi, when I was in Delhi, and some of when I was about to complete my graduation. I saw Gangs of Wasseypur when I was in third year. So, so yes, because the film made a lot of fuss around, and like, it cannot be in the cinema hall. You cannot go and watch it. So one of my friend have had this laptop, and he's like, let's watch the film. This guy is making Anurag Kashyap is making making a lot of fuss about the film. The moment I saw Gangs of Wasseypur, I got, like, my mind, it literally shook me. I'm like, okay, what was this? A lot of stories, a lot of characters, whole lot of craft, while staging all the characters right away, like, rightly, justifiedly. So I mean, yeah, some of them were during the time of graduation, some of just after the graduation when I was in Delhi. So yes.
Do you somewhere think that the spotlight is on women, especially in the indie filmmaking space? When we speak globally, because earlier we've had, Payal Kapadia, where her movie was received this big honor at Cannes Film Festival. Then there was Kartiki Gonzalez, who won Oscars for Elephant Whisperers. Do you somewhere feel there is a spotlight, especially on Indian women in the indie space?
Look, I mean, obviously there is always a pressure as a woman filmmaker on everyone. But if you see, India has already grown up a lot in terms of making films on women. It's not the first time I'm making a film on women. Before me, there are, numerous women filmmakers, Zoya Akhtar, Kiran Rao. I'm so inspired by them, like Meera Nair, Nandita Das, Payal Kapadia. They are always there. And अगर मैं इन लोगों की फिल्म्स नहीं देख रही होती तो मैं शायद मैं सोच भी नहीं पाती कि मैं भी कुछ कर सकती हूँ. सो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि द इंस्पिरेशन इज वेरी कमिंग फ्रॉम द ओन कोर इंडस्ट्री and nowhere else. Trust me, the art of storytelling, if you see each and every director I named, they have a different art of telling storytelling, and they differ from each other a lot. Each of their films talking about the kind of voices we need to be raised. And I guess I got inspired by them, and I sort of decided to be one of them. And I don't know if I thought I never thought of to be compared, or to make something which will be so recognized by each of them. They all have wished me. I mean, what else I need?
As in wish to as inspire? I mean,
Payal ma'am wished me, Zoya
okay.
Akhtar, and then Vikramaditya Motwane, then Rima Das. They have like sort of Kiran Rao, ma'am. Everyone, they all cherished me with like showered me with a lot of messages, love. And I'm so grateful for them that they are trying to motivate me in their own way. I mean, this is so beautiful. And yes, we are improving. This industry is improving. You see, my film is, it's not about men and women. My film is backed by a lot of men producers, be it Ranjan sir, be it Anurag Kashyap, be it Bhivanshu Rai, Romil Jain, Sharif Khan, Vikas Kumar, Naveen Shetty. It's not the first film Naveen Shetty is backing. You see his history. He's been supporting a lot of films, just like Ranjan sir is supporting a lot of films from a decade. Like, so I'm so grateful that I'm surrounded by good people. Yeah.
Okay. So this was after your win that they wished you, congratulated you. This was before you went.
No, 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 no. Just the news broke, and they just,
Acha.
reached me
Okay.
with their,
Okay. Okay.
congratulations.
Okay. In your acceptance speech, Anuparna, you spoke about the suffering of children in Palestine. Was it something that you had really thought of much before, that if you probably win an award, you're going to, use that platform to say something, which was probably the need of the hour in a way? And did you prepare any kind of a speech, maybe?
Look, it's not the first time I talked about Palestine. In my previous film, Run to the River, the moment it got selected in Chevakshari, Russia, it was again a renowned festival in Chevakshari. They invited. So I kind of know that if I have a mic, and if I'm not talking about the uncomfortable things, then I don't consider myself then a global citizen. I'm like any random bourgeois, ignoring everything possible happening around. So it definitely comes under my responsibility to point it out. And definitely my speech cannot change this. Like, I don't have that power to change the global politics of India or outside India, or in Palestine, or in, but at least to consider it, I believe I gave a thought. I talked with my producers. I never knew that I'm gonna win. I'm like, in case something happens, I want to consider this. They were also worried about it, but they said that, you will get the mic. You just say whatever you feel like. So they kind of showed me, gave me that courage to talk it about. And it happened that way. It was not planned. It was not nothing. I was shaking. You see, I had no script in my hand. I was so everyone had scripts. Like they actually prepared something to talk about. And I'm like, I knew I'm gonna, if I have a mic, I'm gonna ruin, I might ended up crying. I might ended up. So I was trying to hold my tears back, like, okay. But yeah.